Versatile Jutsu.
Got it though. So Kaguya's here and she brings a lot of crazy things to the game, and she brings a great update with them nerfing attack types into the ground. They even got rid of the awesome knuckle knife spam, and they gave us kind of a new map with them renovating the lobby, which is kind of lazy, but hey, you know, that's Bandai. And they're also giving us some decent shop updates that are coming, and they let us know what are the next 2 Elder Kage Jutsu that are coming. But that's going to lead us into our anime question of the day. Who was your favorite DLC from Season 6? Me personally, I'm going to have to say Kaguya. And this video is going to let you know why Kaguya is my favorite. So hey man, in today's video we're going to be breaking down the counters, what works for it, what works against it, breaking down the jutsus and giving you the goods and the bads of it. So if this is something you might be interested in, stay tuned to the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on the bell notification, do all those nice things, and we got some time stamps in the description, so if you want to skip forward, you can do that. But let's go ahead and hop straight into the video. So before we get into this video, I gotta give a big shout out to my man Kid Mike and Saiyan Sauce God for helping me out with this video, man. They really helped out, man, and they allowed me to get this content out to y'all, so shout out to y'all. But let's go ahead and hop into the thing. So when we talk about the base Kaguya CAC character, she's actually pretty cool. She has a pretty nice moveset. They found a way to implement some Zetsu attacks in there, and kind of similar to how Obito floats everywhere, Kaguya phases in and out of her Yomotsu Hirasaka every time she dodges and moves around, and she even has a pretty cool barrage attack that she does with her Ash Bones, which is pretty cool. When we look at the base rewards for Kaguya, we're going to get the Ninja Master unlocked, of course. We're going to get the costume Kaguya outfit too. This is unisex, so you can wear this for the male and the female outfits, and this is just the Kaguya outfit from the past. We're gonna get Shinobi boost, of course. The hairstyle Kaguya, which, you know, gives her the long hair, which is, you know, pretty cool. I won't be rocking it. I was curious which black Zetsu mask we're getting. We're basically going to be getting the Zetsu mask that we saw whenever Zetsu was taking over Obito's body, which is pretty cool. Another Shinobi boost, and we're also going to be getting the honorary title Otsutsuki clan. Shout out to my man that actually let me know that we already had the Rabbit Goddess title. That's what I thought we were maybe going to get. So when we actually get into breaking down some of the cool things that Kaguya brings, we start off first with the substitution, which is going to be the Yomotsu Hirasaka. So some key points also about this thing. It has a nice length. This thing lasts about 4 seconds. It counters Sea Dragon, so this is very similar to Time Space Hop, with if you activate this during Sea Dragon, you're going to be able to get away from it and not get hit by this. I think this would be pretty good if you pair it with Gun. One thing that's a downside though is that the hard lock is still there, so you're not going to be able to pair this with the Flying Rage and Slice because your opponent is going to have a hard and soft lock on you still. Also, jutsu and tools are disabled whenever you use this substitution, and there's an unknown beneficial status effect that I saw where it's an up arrow, but I don't necessarily know what it is. Possibly might be a small healing effect. And then also this thing is just good for getting distance. So when we talk about some counters, the main counters with this thing is just, you know, hey, they can lock onto you. And I didn't try out the pulling techniques or anything like Heavenly Hand Power, but these jutsus may be able to do something since you can be able to do that hard lock on. So we move over to the first ninjutsu. It's going to be the 80 Gods Vacuum Fist. And this jutsu is pretty cool. Basically, you're just going to be pushing out a bunch of punches, and if you continue to press the input button of the punch, you're going to continually punch your opponents until you hit them with a barrage. This is pretty similar to the Baryon Barrage, and some key things with this jutsu is you can get an air activation with this jutsu, and some strengths of it also is that you can hit multiple enemies, and this is where you can get those high combo counters like 100 or 90 hits and things like that. This breaks guards, so things like Susanoo armor and stuff like that is not going to work. It also breaks barrier and wall jutsu, so things like dome wall, wood wall, stuff like that. But the one downside for breaking barrier like Sandshoot and things, when you hit it, that one hit is going to end the jutsu. So once you break that barrier of the wall, the jutsu ends, which is very strange. I could maybe see them balancing this and updating this later on where the jutsu can keep striking. This thing will also outlast most super armor moves, so things like Kazan Strike and Demon Hunter. But in Demon Hunter, they're still going to be able to hit you, but because the animation is so long, it's going to have an effect similar to Baryon Barrage, where you're pretty much going to power through most charging strikes. This thing has good range. It's kind of similar to Snake Thrust, but a little bit farther because that punch can stretch pretty far and hit your opponent, and it has high damage. So some counters with this jutsu is going to be the distance. Even though I said the distance is good, the distance can also hurt you if somebody's using Icicle Swallow or trying to get away from you. Another thing is, like I said, how when you hit the barriers or the walls, the first strike, it ends the jutsu. It also works in counterspective where if you miss that first strike, the jutsu ends. You can't just punch the air. You actually have to land a hit on somebody for this jutsu to fully activate. So if somebody dodges the first strike, this isn't going to work. This thing doesn't have armor, so using things that can, find a way to still hit your opponent with a delayed effect like a paper bomb kunai, it's going to knock them out of this animation of the punches, which is, kind of similar to the scorching flames. Also, Baryon Barrage is going to hit through this, and things like enemy strikes. So, if, like I said, if you're activating this, since you don't have armor, if somebody comes behind you and hits you, they're going to end this jutsu. So some things that worked against it were things like Karma when you use the second activation, the Mirror Drones because these going to attack without you even having to do anything, and also Strange Taste gets rid of this jutsu as well. We move over to the next ninjutsu, it's going to be the Murderous Ash Bones. And basically what this is, you're going to be able to shoot out some of Kaguya's Murderous Ash Bones, and it's basically going to just apply a poison effect that, deals damage over time. But what's unique about this jutsu is if you miss the first rod, it's going to go into a portal and come back out and hit your opponent. And you basically shoot out about 2 to 3 rods, and if you miss them, they come back and hit them, which is pretty cool. So some key points with this jutsu is it doesn't stop charging. So if somebody's charging at you or coming at you, the rod's going to hit them, but they're still going to get that charge strike and hit you. Now, the thing is, the poison still works even if they're blocking, which is a pretty good thing, and you can also activate this in the air. Some strengths of this jutsu is, of course, it has great distance. It's kind of similar like a ranged jutsu with how far the distance is. The second attempt strike can really well sneak up on your opponents and ensure you get that damage. This thing removes Demon Hunter, so if you hit this while somebody's running Demon Hunter, it's going to get rid of that Demon Hunter effect, which is pretty nice. It does some good damage, and for the most part, if you hit people with 2 iterations of the poison, you're going to get their health pretty low where you can pretty much kill them one shot. The only thing is, though, the counters for this, though, is that it's easy to dodge. But that's where the second activation comes in. But a lot of the times, it's going to spawn in front of them where they can just dodge it easily again, which is the only thing that sucks with it. This thing also doesn't stop projectiles. So things like Fireballs and Majestic Destroyer Flame, they're basically just both going to phase through each other, and both opponents are going to be able to get a strike in. Another counter is also Karma. Karma works very well with this, but at times, since it has that second activation of the needle may come and hit your opponent from behind, which is pretty cool. Barrier Jutsu is also going to work. This isn't going to go through Barrier Jutsu. Sukuna Hakona is going to pretty much nerf any of the projectiles you're shooting out. Flying Thunder is also going to prevent the Ash Bones from coming in. Strange Taste absorbs it. And of course, like I said, dodging. If you're playing somebody that's really good and they see you trying to hit them with the Ash Bones, they're more than likely going to dodge this, and you're not going to hit them with it. Now, when we move over to the ultimate, which is what your boy was really hoping they would get right, and they did, it's going to be the secret technique, Ame No Minaka. Sorry. Now, what this basically is, you're basically going to teleport your opponents into another dimension. While you're in this dimension, you're not going to have access to your normal strikes, so your normal X and Y or your normal square and triangle combos, but you're going to have special strikes. And you can also shift between dimensions using the right bumper and the left bumper, and this is going to allow you to either go to the lava realm or also the ice realm, where you get additional attacks, which is, if you use the Y strike, you're going to be able to get them in the ice pillar and then also hit them with the ice things. This jutsu is pretty cool. Now, some key points about this thing. It appears like it disappears whenever you're seeing it from the outside. So if you're watching one of your teammates use this jutsu, you're just going to see them and the teammates all disappear. You might see like a little black splash on the screen showing like, that they shifted dimensions. So this thing doesn't change the whole field going off of that. It's only teleporting the enemies in that area to that specific spot. Now, the thing that's really cool about this is, since the teleport enemies get caught, they're not going to be able to have their teammates. So if you can get a team together and then teleport them, this is going to be pretty nice. Now, in my opinion, the Ice Realm completely trumps the Fire Realm when it comes to power, just because of the fact that you can use the ice pillars to just freeze them and then just start going crazy on the opponents in here. And when you actually look at it from the point of view of somebody not running this ultimate, you can see that everybody is like far away on the map, like they're on some area that like you can't even see, which is honestly pretty cool. Now, some strengths of this ultimate is you can't use normal strikes, but the ninja tools are also still available, so you can still use the ninja tools, so you can have like a flash pill or something like that while you're still using this Kaguya ultimate. It counters Infinite Tsukuyomi, so if somebody uses Infinite Tsukuyomi and then you come and pop this ultimate, your ultimate is going to overpower it because you're going to shift to another dimension where the light doesn't get you, which is pretty cool. You're also unflinchable when you're in this ultimate, so even though people can strike and hit you, they're not going to be able to stagger you, and you're going to be able to keep hitting them with strikes. You truly do feel like a god when you're using this ultimate because nobody can do anything to you. you. And enemies are trapped, like I said, so this is going to be great for flag battle, because if you could just get people, get everybody in one area and transport them to this dimension, the whole team to the dimension, and you just buy your time out to the ultimate ends, it's very easy for you to get a whole flag run, because roughly you're in this dimension, I'd say roughly for about at least 15 to 20 seconds, which is pretty good. It's a pretty decent amount of time to be using this dimension to just power down on your opponents. Now, some counters, like I said, one thing is that it does not transport your teammates. It only transports the enemies. So the counter for this is going to be jumping you. And yeah, if you have a team that's really good, they're going to jump the hell out of you while you're in this dimension. And if they kill you, the dimension goes away. But that's why I said this is going to work well with flag battle, because I mean, I guess you could be the sacrificial lamb to help your team get the flag while you have them in another dimension. But all around, looking at all the things that Kaguya brung, this was pretty cool. It's a pretty good DLC. It's not extremely overpowered besides the ultimate, but it's all things that are fun, and it's what Kaguya should have done. And I get it. We can make the argument, yes, that both of her initial jutsu could have been range jutsu. They very well could have, but the only thing that doesn't fit range is that ultimate. You can't give range types Ame No Minaka. It's just not gonna work. But when we go to the gradings, as far as when we talk about the ninjutsu, the substitution, Yomotsu Hirasaka, I'm gonna give that a solid B. The 80 Gods Vacuum Fist, I think, is a solid A. This jutsu isn't too overpowered, but the fact that it's similar to the Scorching Flame, where they can knock you out of it just by hitting you or somebody else hitting you, is what gives it an A rank for me. The Murderous Bones Ash, I'd give those also an A, just because of the fact that they're so easy to dodge. But catching somebody off guard with this, the damage is going to be crazy. And the Ame No Minaka is going to have to be an S rate, because this thing truly makes you feel like a god, and the additional attacks that you get are going to basically allow you to overpower any other ultimate that you're dealing with. So that's going to bring us to a final grade of this DLC being a solid A rank. I think this was a solid DLC. They gave us some solid things, and honestly, Kaguya is the best DLC of Season 6 from my perspective. So when we get into some extra things that they're going to be bringing to the game, some extra news. So they already revealed the events for August and September, so you already know what's going to be happening. They have some new campaigns, some weapon campaigns coming, and you're going to have a chance at esoteric scrolls from signing in and doing things. You can have a chance to get up to 50 esoteric scrolls, which is a lot of esoteric scrolls. They have some new shop functions for special themed shops, so you can get a 10/10 ticket, and it'll allow you to also go to specific rewards for specific classes. So if you're an attack type, you can get specific things for attack types, or range types. You can get these unique things that you're looking for that are specifically for your class. And then they also released, they already let us know what the next 2 Elder Kage jutsu are going to be, which is going to be the Steam Imp from the Mizukage, and we're also going to be getting the Particle Dismantling jutsu, which is going to be pretty cool. And then we also get a Storm Connection shirt, which hints at them probably having continuous updates with Storm Connection and Shinobi Striker side by side with each other, since both of these games are going to be out. There's a high possibility, since they just released, Baro, Delta, and Kojin Kashi for Storm Connections, there's a high chance that those 3 characters may be coming for Season 7, but hey, that's for another video. But let me know in the comments, man, what do y'all think about Kaguya? How was she for y'all? Are y'all enjoying the jutsu? Honestly, this is one of the best DLCs that they've gotten concept-wise in a long time in Shinobi Striker. But let me know what y'all think about it in the comments, and I'm going to see y'all in the next one, man.